Hello everyone and good morning. If you're new here, my name is Maddie and I'm gardening in Queens, New York City. And today we're going to take a look how the garden is doing in May. We're going to start here at my backyard. I have some harvesting to do. And then we're going to move to the other two spaces now that I garden at. So I just got a brand new space to garden as well that we adding to this tour. So we're going to be seeing everything today. So here's a little overview of the backyard. First, I have a few vertical planters and also this long raised bed here that has lots of things going on, and we just also recently planted some stuff on these buckets too that I'm going to go over with you guys as well. But let's start here at the raised beds and see how everything's looking first. This little area of the garden is a little shaded, but I have some feverfew here that came back from last year, some snapdragons that came back from last year, and I planted some dahlias in there finally. They're getting a little smothered, but all this tall stuff. But these things also came back from last year, volunteered in here, and I'm just waiting for them to flower, and I'm going to cut them. So then the dahlias are going to have all the space they need right behind there. But let's look behind now. This is a coreopsis that's about to bloom. I'm very excited for that, to see how they will look. So I have a rudbeckia in here too, and lots of larkspurs. This is all larkspur. I have some flowering. I'll show you guys how it looks like. Then I have a couple sunflowers in there that volunteered. Some more dahlias back there, little baby dahlias that I just planted because I made space. This is a feverfew that's about to bloom. This is the tetra white variety. More dahlias in here. Those are all baby dahlias. I have bachelor button in the back over there. And I have this beautiful snapdragon that came back from last year also. And here I had a beautiful peony, or have still. I cut it down. I had to cut it down because it was shading my dahlias really bad. But I had lots of stems and made a little beautiful bouquet for the apartment. So that was very nice. And the dahlias that I planted here earlier are a lot bigger, you can see, in size than these guys over here. I'm not going to go over the varieties right now because they're not flowering, so it makes it a little hard. But as soon as they start flowering, I'll definitely let you guys know what they are. I have a few things here in the front that came back from last year as well. This is an echinacea. There's two in here. They also have some buds, so I was hoping that they'll be all blooming now in May, but you can't control the garden that way. I have some snapdragons in the back there that are flowering. Those are fall planted, and here in the front I have some spring planted. And this is perennial scabiosa that came back from last year, and it's full of these beautiful purple little flowers. I really like that. And here on that side we have a bachelor button, more feverfew, a really big raspberry. This is a pear tree that we have here, has some pears, but usually unfortunately gets sick around this time, or in June we start seeing some rust. So let's see how it will do this year. Down here I have the beautiful basket weave green stalk that I moved to this side. It's nice and full now, looking really good. These beets are looking gorgeous. I love this dark foliage. We have lots of flowers everywhere. I was a little busy this week taking care of the plot in the new space, which you guys are going to see. Did a lot of progress in there, but I have to come here and that had these flowers, or kind of take care of these planters a little better. I was not here in my backyard much. So here, there's one thing I want to show you. I had my spinach that I direct sowed, and you guys can see here it's not doing great. So I just left them here to show you, but I am going to cut them, take them out, because I have some. This is some, I think, leaf miner. Ah, little bird! You scared me, guy. Look at this. I thought he was a squirrel coming out. Hello. I am not very good at identifying birds. This one's a pretty one. And I like when they come here and they pick at the soil, so they eat some little bugs and stuff. That's always good. Haven't had much damage from them from eating some of my other things, so I like to see them here. Alright, back to the garden tour. Okay, taking down this spinach, I have my pruners here. Yeah, it's not looking great at all, so I think it's leaf miner, which happens to spinach, unfortunately to me. They got a little leggy. They're just not enjoying this hot weather. So I'm just gonna cut it from the base real quick. I'll leave some of the roots in there, but I'll try to clean as much as I can. I'll take this, guys. This one's just gonna break because I can do it with one hand, but that's it. No spinach for us this season. This was bolting already. That's not great. But now I have two new planting pockets in here that I can do something else. I have some radishes in here that I could. This one I could harvest. This one still needs more time. Got some kale in there that I could harvest also. Woo, back here, look at that. I have the arugula bolted. We tried to eat some, but it's so bitter. It's a little hard. I unfortunately have to get composted, or if I do harvest, I have to cook it so I can take the bitterness down a little bit. And it's mostly it for this planter. We have a lot of time and some herbs in here, and I really need to come around and take care of these flowers. Looks a little weird now that I took out the spinach, but I want to plant something right away. All right, moving on to this side, so we have some strawberry in here. This plant was a volunteer from a strawberry that probably fell from our plants last year. It's doing really good, full of little strawberries, but they're probably going to be small. Have rudbeckia that came back from last year. This is the larkspur. All the larkspur in the garden, including those that are flowering over there, are volunteers. They came back from last year. This beautiful pink bachelor button. The tomatoes are looking great. Look at the progress. Look how huge they are compared to last garden tour. Those are the cherry tomatoes. I have a few different varieties in here. So this one's a black one, a purple one, that variety that I got from a friend. And then I have this red one that's a sweet aperitif. Those two are actually the purple ones. I'm calling it Smoky Mountain because it's from his homestead, and he kind of just let things mix it up in there, so it's not a known variety. But then I have this one is going to be a purple and yellow cherry. Rudbeckia, the eggplants looking great. Those are patio baby eggplants, are growing nicely. I have a jalapeno in here that's growing really well as well. So yeah, this Rudbeckia come back from last year. I have another tomato in here. This is the sweet aperitif, so it's going to be a red one also. And the beautiful larkspur. I'm gonna have to cut it too because it's kind of falling. Gonna cut it down and probably plant something else. This bachelor button have seen better days. I also didn't come here and then had it, so it's looking a little sad, but I'll come around and clean the garden a bit this week hopefully. And down here we have a rose that my friend gifted me, and it's budding, so it's gonna be a nice peachy one, I believe. I'll show you guys when it's flowering later. But I have a volunteer mustard, which, you know, I'm gonna harvest actually because I don't want it to get too bitter. I do like eating mustard. I'm gonna harvest this for dinner, and it's kind of taking too much space from that rose anyway, so let's put this in here. And now much better, so we can see what's going on in there. And right next to it we have some peas that are actually almost ready to harvest. That's nice, pea plant. So I have a few down here, then I have this very tall long one up here. Those are sugar snap peas. I will wait a couple more days to harvest those. And now we'll move on to this beautiful brassica green stalk that I am so happy about this year. I have this gorgeous beet in here. Look how much bigger it looks since last time also. I do have a beet down there, even though it was growing mostly for the greens, but the greens look gorgeous. I might harvest the whole thing a little later. And I have the Napa cabbage, not growing as fast as I thought, but growing there, getting the center a little tight, so hopefully you'll be able to harvest that this month. Cauliflower got huge. Look at these leaves. So I don't see a head yet in the middle, but she's probably gonna start forming one soon. I have been harvesting from this green stalk for a while. We got lots of broccoli from it. This variety here, purple one that I planted, is very prolific. These guys need to be harvested. All of them are getting a little bit too long. So I probably waited too long to harvest this, like 2 days too long, and I should have harvested a couple days ago. But we're gonna do it now. So let me just get these guys harvested, and we're gonna keep moving on with the tour. I'm going to start with this side here. There's some underneath. I'll bring it all up so you can see. Those are all side shoots. Those are huge. From this plant that has been harvested for a while. This could have waited a little longer, but let's just do a nice harvest today so we have enough for dinner. There you go. This is all from one plant, and we eat the leaves too. These little nice leaves. This is sprouting broccoli. I'm going to turn the planter. Oops, it's a little heavy because I have so much going on in here. Turn it around. And then get to these guys. So this one's a little too open, but it's fine. It's doing this great. Lots of new leaves this time. I harvested a little bit hard last time. So a little bit lower, so I'm getting lots of new leaves, which is good. There we go. Do I have any more? I don't think so. The other ones are too small. I'm gonna move this one more time, and we're gonna harvest this green one. So harvesting from the sides here, they'll keep sending side shoots, which is good. I'll get these little ones too, because they're growing too fast, and I get them. So just keep them in my fridge. Oh, there you go. That was a good one. It's a nice handful. Very good for a one-day harvest. Let's add that to a little basket. And that's it. Nice little harvest for dinner. I'm gonna put this inside and then come right back to the tour. Okay, so you can see the other side of the green stalk now since it's turned. I have this very nice nasturtium with some beautiful flowers. I love the color of these flowers, and look how it's trellising all the way down. It's super cool. I have lots of kale in here too that I could harvest today, but since we have broccoli, I'm gonna leave the kale here and probably harvest tomorrow or the next day. And you can just harvest from the bottom, it will keep growing up. So, but it's looking great. Very happy with this green stalk this year. And then on this side, I have a newly planted green stalk. So this is a cool season green stalk. I planted this very early with spring vegetables, things I like to grow in the cold. And this is a warm season. So those have peppers and tomatoes and basil, etc. These don't like to be planted too early. So I had to wait until May until the weather was warm enough to have them out. So it's looking a little smaller than that one, but that's okay. That's the nature of gardening, just different seasons. And we have lots of growth on these guys. So I have lots of the peppers in here looking great. Some of the tall ones in the bottom are getting very tall. I'm debating if I should top this off or not. I'm still thinking. We have some dwarf tomatoes. They're looking huge here on this side. Look at that. Looking very nice. This is a purple heart tomato. It's a semi-indeterminate and a dwarf tomato project. And they have all different kinds of peppers in here. I put some marigold and basil for some variety in there, and also to help with some pest control. So it's looking really good. I'm very happy with how those guys are doing this year. Those are both green stalks if you're not familiar with this vertical planter, and I have a discount code for them too. You can check out the description box below if you're interested. So now we can move on to upstairs, where things are not doing so great. This planter is also planted with cool season stuff, but they have heavily bolted because it's been very hot. So this was a parsley that's looking kind of crazy. I have some pansies in there. I did replant the other side that looks small now. See, my lettuce is bolting. All of this stuff have to come up and we have a fresh new start. And okay, one more turn. I added some nasturtium in here, some herbs down here. This is shiso, and I have over there, I think it's all shiso over here, and I have some more nasturtiums, some more nasturtiums. So it's looking small now, but it will pick up. I had a little horrible aphid problem with my chives, if you guys can see here. I had to cut it down, but I still have to kind of address that. But we'll take care of it this month. Look at that lettuce. I gotta harvest that today. Not today, but maybe tomorrow. And here I have some peas. Look at this beautiful magnolia. Those are called sugar magnolia tendril peas. They are purple and they are kind of ready to go. I'll probably harvest them tomorrow to eat in my salad with the lettuce and the peas. But they look so pretty in here. Not all of them made it. I planted a bunch in there. Only 3 of the vines made it, but that's all right. They didn't have a lot of seed. I'm still happy with that. My chives here are getting to the end of their life. The chive blossoms, they are looking spent. I'm leaving them be to just turn into seed. I have a lavender in here that's blooming. I'm gonna harvest some too. Here I have some thyme. This one's called pizza thyme. Never heard about it before, but I bought it at the farmer's market this year. And it's growing nicely, beautifully. I'm going to start harvesting soon. And it smells really, really good. I'm loving this. I have some lemon balm in here. And up here I have strawberries. Oh my God, just noticed. Look at these guys, they are red. Oh, I'm gonna harvest some, definitely. Gonna eat some strawberries. Those are little, but they're very sweet. They're very good. So this was also a volunteer on this basket from last year. Oops, I smashed one. It's too ripe. This is a little, oh my God, it's so sweet. Woo. Alpine strawberry, really good. A little sour too, but I usually wash this stuff before I eat it, but we just had rain, so I feel okay eating. But that's what happened. I was about to do the same thing. You see those ones smashed in my hand? I was going to throw them here on this spot, and that's how I end up with a bunch of strawberry volunteer plants in my garden. Okay, so that's it for the backyard. We're going to move on to the plot now, and then we're gonna go take a look at our new space also. Also here at the front yard of my building, my landlord allows me to garden here also. I have a lot of seed dahlias that I started from seed, and I'm planting here as an experiment to see if I can find some beautiful ones, because dahlias grown from seed don't look the same as their parent plant like the tubers do. So this is kind of like a fun experiment for me to try to see what we can get from this guy. Some of these seeds were from Floret, some were from my own dahlias that I mixed up last year, which is mostly these ones on this side. And then I also had some dahlia tubers that I put in here. Those are the bigger plants because I didn't have space on my backyard, so I added a few here on this corner. There's all different stages of growth here, but I hope that maybe next month we'll be able to see some blooms. So the plot is about a 10 minutes walk from my apartment, and I live in Astoria, Queens, in New York City, and it's about 30 minutes away from Manhattan by subway. So it looks a little bit different here than maybe you expect of New York City, but it's a nice neighborhood. Okay, so now we're almost there, and I want to show you guys the plot from this side just real quick, because we have these nice roses growing here on the edges. And they never bloomed so much, I think, before, but now these ones are coming all the way up here and climbing. I think it's looking really nice. This is the grapevine that we have, and still young, still starting to just put off its first leaves. And there's a gate here, but I can't get into this gate. I have to walk all around the block to get in from the back. And here's the plot, looking very nice this morning. And since I'm here, I want to give you guys a sneak peek on our new space, which is right behind it. So this is our new plot that's all newly planted. Look at that. Hard to see from behind here, but we're gonna take a walk there after we see what's going on in here. All right. The thing that I'm excited the most at the plot right now is this beautiful ranunculus. They have been blooming for about a week now, and it's looking a little spent because I'm not taking the spent blooms out, because I really wanted to show you guys how it looks when it's full of flowers. So here it is, making the entrance of the plot look very lovely. We are going to take a closer look at them in a minute, but first I want to show you guys this part from the back. That's where we were outside. Those are the roses, this is the grapevine, and lots of weeds down here. I do want to come here this week and try to weed this all to try to make it look a little nicer. And here on this side, under this fig tree, if you guys remember from a previous video, I have added some mulch and some dirt in here, and my friend Aubrey, that's helping me out now, gave me some mushroom spawn to put in here. So I inoculated this area here, you can see because underneath the mulch, with some wine cap mushrooms. Hopefully in the next tours we'll be able to see a little mushroom flush in there. I put it under here because it's going to be under this fig tree. It's still small now, but it does get really big through the season, and it'll provide some shade for this area and hopefully kind of help the mushroom grow. And that also will help, breaking down this mulch and enriching the soil over here. There's a pokeweed over there that I have to decide if I'm leaving there or not. But here on this side, let's start here real quick, we have some status that is starting to show some color in here. I planted this as a cool season flower together with the ranunculus and some of the scabiosa, but I kind of ran out of space over there and I put them in here, which is a bit shady, but they're doing fine. They don't seem to mind. I also clear out this space a little bit. Some more weeds came up, but you can see some seedlings in here. Those are cosmos, so I threw some cosmos seeds in there. It looks like they have germinated, so maybe we'll be able to add a little bit of color on this area too. And I have yarrow seedlings popping up everywhere. This is the yarrow. That's all babies from this big guy over here that is on its third year now. It got a bit knocked down by the rain yesterday, so it's about to start flowering. Gotta come here and start to stake that. And here is the gorgeous ranunculus. Look at this one. Oh, so beautiful. They first started flowering like this, blowing the centers open and kind of singles, even the orange ones. And then now there I've been seeing some more of the doubles. These two guys are the same variety. It's the same variety, but they're just, I think, bloom different depending on conditions. So you see a variety of things going on in here. We have some beautiful white double ones, also a little knocked out by the rain, and then some that open and a bit spent, so same variety too. The whites are the same, but just blooming a little differently. I have this nice one here. Look how double that one looks like it's going to be, and then also blooming open. So I don't really know what makes them bloom open. I can research and try to talk to you guys about it in a different video, but I kind of like the variety and the way it makes it all look here. I like that I planted in mats. I did mix my corms, so those are corms saved from last year. I mixed them up, so I didn't plant in color combination, so it's all over the place. But I kind of really like the way the look it gives. It looks nice. And I will come over here and cut these spent blooms after I finish this video. I just really wanted to show this place to you guys when it's full of color. But you see there's lots of buds in here still. So if I do come here and cut the spent ones, I hope that I get another flush that's going to look nicer, because the temperature is going to get a little cooler, and ranunculus do like or prefer to grow in the cooler weather. So maybe there's a chance that I can still enjoy this bloom for a few more weeks. And over here on this side, by the entrance too, we have the feverfew, which has perennialized for us and it's coming back from last year. It's starting to flower. In the last video that I was here at the plot showing the ranunculus, I said that I really wanted this feverfew to flower for the garden tour, and here it is. We can see some of it now in May. I love these guys, they're so pretty. Feverfew is also medicinal, so you can harvest for some medicinal uses, but I'm mostly just going to harvest for the flowers because I love these guys also in little bouquets in the house, and we're gonna have plenty of it this year. Here on this side, I have a few other things. I can just go here before I show the other beds. I just want to kind of rescue this guy because they probably got knocked down by the rain also. Oh, look at this. And then we have these double ones. This is a tetra white feverfew also. It smells great here now, and I should probably harvest it. You're supposed to harvest to put it inside the home in a vase when most of the flowers are open, and it's looking like most of it is. So I'll probably harvest this stem here, and some more here. Look at that. We have a basher button. This volunteered from last year too, and some bronze fennel that's actually full of aphids, so I have to take care of this space a little bit. I've been trying to add some molasses and stuff to feed the soil here better to see if I can increase the health of these plants. We'll see how that's going to work out, but that's looking nice there. It's about to get really beautiful when all of these blooms are open. And here I planted some zinnias on this area and direct sowed some sunflowers in the back. We have some fennel, bronze fennel babies from that plant here. It flowers last year, sorry, and dropped its seeds, so I'm letting some of them grow there. Let's see if I have some sunflower seedlings. Oh yeah, it looks like, yeah, we got some. This guy germinated but has a little hole in its sleeve. We'll see. Maybe I'll put some more seeds there too. I wanted to start filling up this plot more. And I have the peppers in here. Look how much bigger they're looking. I have to weed this bed this week too, but they're looking very nice. One of them got topped off. Someone ate the top, but it's sending some nice shoots. It was the same size as that guy. And back here we have the gorgeous sweet peas that also came back from last year, or self-seeded, I'm not sure, but they're blooming all at once. That's beautiful. I have to come and cut them too so they can keep blooming for us a little more. These guys smell amazing. If you've never grown sweet peas before, I highly recommend. They're very beautiful and I love the smell too. Right next to it we have our tomato bed. The tomatoes are doing amazing also. They have put a lot of growth since we planted them. We planted them in the beginning of May, started the seeds in March, by the end of March, and I have trellised them in a different way this year. I'm running a string over here from the top, and then I got another string down and secure with a garden staple, and then I'm trying to trellis them that way. The strings are green, so they're kind of fading the landscape, which makes it a little harder to see, but they are just getting twisted around when they are growing. So I came around after the last video when I actually did this, and I already pruned everybody on the bottom and took the suckers off. Oh, a little bit just landed on me. Okay, So they're looking good. I did the same thing here on this side. This guy's looking like coming to the edge, so what I'm gonna do is just twist it one more time. And this twines, this jute is a little bit flexible, so it's okay to keep twisting them. And it's looking good. I love the amount of growth of these tomatoes that they have had. So I have 2 beds of tomatoes here. I'll come back here because the light's not as strong. So this one and that one, and here on this side I have more flowers. I have some stalk in here. They are all blooming and ready to be harvested, and I have already harvested some because stalk is a one and done situation. It just blooms once, but I love the smell of it, love it more than the sweet peas even. It's probably one of my favorite smells, and it's also edible, so you can take the flowers to do some nice cooking things with it. I'm leaving one here to go to seed. That's how it looks after the flowers fell, and it's getting seed pods because I want to collect some seeds from it. And here, what I have already harvested, the first ones that bloom, I planted some zinnias, so that's going to be succession sown with some zinnias in here. So that's gonna be gone very soon, all this stock. I have some zinnia. Oh my god, this is a floret zinnia and it's about to bloom. Look at that. She's small still, but zinnias tend to stay small, at least bloom small, at least from my experience, and then start getting bigger to the season. But look at that, the first of our Alpenglow zinnias. This look like might be a single, it might not be get to double, but that's all right. And I planted this a little early because I was very curious to see how they will look. All of these here are Alpenglow, and these ones, new ones that I planted, are some Oklahoma ivory that was left over from the planting that we did over there at the new plot behind that fence. So here we have an asparagus that I caged it because it was falling all over my flowers, but we're letting it be. Here I have Rudbeckia. This is an Indian summer Rudbeckia that is also about to bloom just in time for the May garden tour. It's going to look gorgeous through the year here. I have some sunflowers that are planted here in the back. So actually maybe this side's better. Sorry. So that's a Procut white, and these ones are going to be a mixture of like the fluffy ones. I think it's Teddy Bear and a couple other ones, I don't remember the name. But then I have also some seed dahlias in here that I added for color. So my thought is with these flowers just to kind of, I don't know, frame the entrance of these arches in there. I think it would look nice. And here I have some beans. So I direct sowed these beans and they are looking super healthy and beautiful. Those are the Scarlet Runner beans, and I had some peas here from earlier in the season that I thought was gonna die, but one of them made it, so it's looking good. Same here on this side, only one of my peas made it. It has a pea. It's the same that I have in my backyard, and I hope that it climbs a little bit more. We'll see how much longer that one's going to survive. I also direct sowed some beans on this side. This is a different variety. Those are the long noodle beans. A couple of them germinated, a little behind than the other one. And then I have some flowers in here. I actually inoculated those bean seeds with a rhizobia bacteria that's going to help them fixing nitrogen in the soil, so I'm excited to see how they are going to do this year. And then here I have some lemon verbena and this beautiful chocolate lace dara flower. Look at this. This is, I guess it's in the carrot family, and it will bloom with different shades of rose. Like it's gonna get this nice chocolate-ish brown color with the flowers when it starts to age. You can already see a little bit on this guy, so it's beautiful. This plant also came back, survived the winter from last year, and is looking so nice and healthy here now. I'm leaving there just for the beauty of it. And the lemon verbena, I planted it here this year just as an herb, but I absolutely love the smell of this, and I wanted to plant here this year to see if it gets bigger. I usually do it in a pot in my backyard, but now I want to get some more of it, so I decided to put it in here. And then back here I have some Rudbeckia that I planted as a cool flower also. Looking good, finally starting to pick up. I put some dill in the back, and back here I direct sold some more beans that I had left over. I have some coreopsis in here, and on this side I have some blue plerum that I direct sowed last year in the fall, just as an experiment, and this is just to cut to make bouquets too, to make our home pretty. And we have some boards in here that volunteer. They're huge. I ended up cutting this one. You guys saw that was much bigger in the other videos I was showing, but I cut this one a bit because of shading the Rudbeckia, so I just took this side off so these guys can have a better chance to thrive, and they're responding really well. They're looking healthy. Here it's a bed of straw flowers that my friend Linda from the garden club gave to us. This is actually mine and Aubrey's. Aubrey's my friend that's helping me with that space over there. I also got some from Linda, and we decided to just plant it together here because I had extra space. I have some basil in here. I have an empty space here that I'm going to probably put my leftover dahlias because I have too many for my backyard. So I might have to put them in here because they need to be planted. They're struggling being the little pots right now because I pre-sprouted most of them. I have a bachelor button here that I direct sold also last year on the fall, and this is black, so beautiful. I love the color of this one. I have an eucalyptus here that just survived the winter, and it's back from last year, so very cool to see. We're in zone 7B and this is supposed to be hardy to zone 9, but they survived the winters here, which is good. So the one in my backyard, I forgot to show you guys, actually also survived. I had 2 last year. And here's kind of like the native flower patch, except for that dahlia in there, but that came back from last year. But we have some monarda in here that's looking really good. Some more rudbeckia down here, some coreopsis that now I can see got knocked down by the rain. Oops. But that's alright, I will make it. Some more in there. I have some echinacea in here that's about to bloom. Look at this. I love that. Some more echinacea back there. More coreopsis. So this is a little pollinator garden to support the pollinators in here. Hopefully it will look good. It's probably going to be all flowering by next month. This side here used to be a compost. I'm not composting here this year. I planted some corn, which is all looking good, and I have a pokeweed in there and a potato in there that came back. But I want to do a 3-sister bed in here. That's why I kind of did like a mound. So now that the corn is a little bigger, I'm gonna come in here and direct sow some beans. So the beans are going to grow together with the corn, and then in these 2 corners I'm going to put some squash. So I'll probably do that on a video with you guys this coming week. I might want to wait the corn to get at least an inch taller so they don't get strangled by the beans, which happened to me before when I was trying to do 3-sister garden. And here on this side we have some marigolds growing there. Those are the African ones, the giant marigolds. They're going to be nice and tall. And I have a bed here that I just prepared to plant my okra and maybe some more eggplant that a friend's going to give to me also, and probably some basil in the front. And I have the eggplant bed here looking great. They're all starting to pick up now. They kind of stayed the same size when I first planted it for a couple weeks, and now they're finally sort of putting out some growth, and they're looking nice and healthy, very green, so I'm happy about that. And I have some marigolds and basil scattered around these beds in here, this purple basil here and there, to kind of help with pest control in this garden too. That marigold is blooming. These tomatoes are looking so good. I'm so happy about them. Oh, there's a dahlia here too that came back from last year. I probably forgot the tuber in there when I was digging, and then she's coming back and it's looking so healthy. I don't remember which one is this one because it's not labeled, but I'm excited to see her bloom. And back here I have some beans, actually all over the fence, that have volunteered from last year too. So I just let it be in there. There's some more in there. I didn't plant them, they just came on their own from a bean plant that I had last year, and I'll just let them be and see how they would do. I guess from this side it's easier to see the tomato trellising stuff with this one. So give me a second. See, I have the string running there attached to my arch into the fence, and then a bunch of strings running down, and they can grow all the way up to there and get very nice and tall this year. And these arches too, hopefully they'll get filled up with beans and look nice. I'm considering maybe putting a squash on the corner on that one. A honey squash, I'm still thinking. And this here too, sorry I forgot to say when I was here, also has, when I passed by, also has some beans. So I have some beans that have germinated. This is also the noodle beans, the long noodle beans. So I think they'll look really cool later in the season when they take over all of these arches here. So that was it for the plot. We're going to move on to the new space now and take a look on what we just planted in there. As I said, the space is right behind there. It's next to the plot, but I can't get through it through here. So I'm also gonna have to go all around over there, go around this building, and then the entrance is behind there. So we're gonna take a little bit of a walk again. So I'm just going to give you guys a little background on that new space in case you haven't watched my previous videos. So that space has been there the whole time that I've been gardening at the plot, but it was not used So it was just, you know, kind of growing weeds in there. There was a few trees, and I never saw the landlord of the place, so I could never ask to, you know, kind of take care of there too, or if I could do something to help. So this year that finally happened, the day that I was actually planting my tomatoes, he stopped by and I asked if I could help him out or at least weed the place, and he said no, it's okay, you can, if you want to use it, you can actually do whatever you want, you can plant stuff in here too, no problem. I have been doing a good job at the other space because you have been seeing how the garden was there. So now we have this new space to garden, and it's now looking so good. My friend Aubrey is going to be helping me out with this space because it's a lot for me to take care of all of these gardens, but we got this all planted together. She started some with the seedlings and I started some too. I'm gonna put a picture on the screen of how this was looking before when we first got this space, and then we had to do some work here. We came right after we knew we could garden here. We came and we did some weeding, then we put some cardboard down to try to suppress the new growth and sort of prepare the soil a little bit for the plantings, and then we started the seeds at home, both Aubrey and I, and those 2 weeks I had to wait. We just let the cardboard be in there and break down a little bit. Then we came in and added all this compost that we got for free for the city, and then we made these pathways and did the seedlings just yesterday. Got all planted, so it's looking really good. So we have 2 rows of zinnias in here. We're doing mostly flowers in here because we do want to just add some beauty to the neighborhood here. This is the alleyway behind the stuff that you see with the little nice tiles in New York City, and we also want to support the pollinators, you know, and all the life that comes here to the garden. And we already have plenty of veggies in there, so this is going to be all beautiful flowers. As I said, 2 rows of zinnias in there. We also have zinnias and zinnias in there, plus more zinnias, and then we bought some celosia in here and some basil and some stuff here where it gets a little shaded. Aubrey also had some echinacea seedlings and a few other things in there, and some jopai weed and a few other things that she just brought in here to plant. So hopefully this will look very nice through the season this year. We also wanted to grow flowers first because we don't know the condition of the soil. Obviously we added all this compost in here, but maybe we should sort of just like prepping it out for the next year. And zinnias, they do okay sometimes growing not so great soil, so we'll see how they do this year. It's an experiment, but we're very excited to see all of this bloom. We did go ahead and plant some beans on these poles over here too. Hopefully it will germinate and then go around this place. And also we put some melons in here that one of the tenants of this building here gave to me the seeds, so I'm planted in here for them. Hopefully they will germinate also. And right here in the back where I need to put some more compost, I did a tromboncino squash, so hopefully that will be able to grow and climb and make this look nice too. So that's it, and this is the plot from behind. Let's go take a look. The regular plot from behind here, hard to see with all of these vines growing, but here is a closer look in the beds too. Those are the celosias, those are zinnias, more zinnias there, and then all zinnias here and there. We did put these pathways in here so we can come and care for it. So we're gonna be able to come in here and cultivate it and harvest the flowers and care for them and all of that. So I think it's looking really good. It turned out great for what we just got, and for that amount of time. We got this in less than 3 weeks ago, and it's now looking all nice like this. I'm back in the first plot to do some garden work, and I just realized that I forgot to show you guys what was on those buckets that I showed at the beginning of the video. So we have some turmeric in there and some different kinds of potatoes, but I'll make sure to show that on the next garden tour where they're already growing. But that'll be it for today. I am going to end this video here. If you missed the garden tour from last month, I'm going to link it up over here so you can watch that next and see how everything was looking in April. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you next time.